What's up, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascent. I have Bitcoin dominance up on the screen here. This is the one-day price chart. Now, what I'm going to show you in no way, shape, or form is this gospel, but I have noticed some interesting developments here in Bitcoin dominance when it relates to what happened in 2021 during our alt season, which was also pretty much a similar time of year here. Winter time is when it happened. So let's go ahead and take a look. The first thing I want to call out is we had that high there in June. On this last drop that ended in September, the exact point we found support was the bottom of this drop back here. Now look how similar, different time frames, right? This structure here, August of 19 to January of 21, that's a year and a half of data. This guy right here is just June through right now, right? So different time frames, but I want you to look at structurally what's happening here. So you have a breakdown, it's in a blow off, and then you have a breakdown below the trend line, right? We can all see that. Well, what ends up happening is over here, this comes in for an A, B, C. Could be a WXY, but you get what I'm saying. Over here, what are we looking at? This comes in for an A, B, C. And you can see that in this B wave, there's an ABC. Let's go over here. In this B wave, there's an ABC, right? And then it breaks down to the same exact level, that 57.2 level down here. They fell to the same exact spot. All right. Now, the obvious difference here is this thing blew up and just barely set a new high, right? And that's why a lot of people were calling for exactly that to happen when we were back here. Everyone was saying, no, we're going to take that out. My argument was, no way. Alts would die with where they're at right now if that happened. And it didn't. But I do want to show you something here structurally. And again, copy and pasting fractals, it's not the, what the hell? It's not the, most surefire way to do it, but it is interesting when you notice structurally how similar these are. So I'm going to pull this over here. I'm going to have to pull this way down, but just bear with me for a sec. Now we zoom in here and look. This, not a real event, at least not when it comes to TA. That was manipulation and all that kind of stuff. So if you look at what this is, though, that peak right there, similar to that right here, right? You can see how similar these two fractals are on the run up, right? That's the high right here. I'll talk about why that's circled in a minute. That's the high right here. That's the high right there. You have this little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We break down from that level, from that trend line, right? I could do that here too. Break down from that trend line. If you do the outermost wicks, you can tell you actually back test it. Let's do this. Outermost wicks, bam, break down, back test. What did we do right here? Break down, back test. Now we're coming down into this area. The same exact area, if you try to make this magnitude similar from the bottom to the top, it's the same exact area that it pulls down to, has a little pop up, kind of similar to this over here. So point being is everybody's trying to decide when, which is the hardest question, right? For me, I know where. This thing's going down. This thing is going to be breaking down, and we're going to have huge appreciation in alts. Now we're just talking about timing, right? Which is so impossible. But if you look at structurally how this played out, coming near the end, that would put us at like mid-December if it continued to follow this pace of when this thing would really start to break down. So that top there, or that structure there, what happened after it? Hammered. We broke down from that 60.73 level, which I'll talk about in a second, and it was gone. Dropped down into the yellow zone, which is my primary zone for right now on Bitcoin dominance, okay? That would be like this thing, boom, dropping all the way down here. I still think we cool off a little bit in the high 40s, but ultimately I'm looking down here into this level, potentially set a new low here before this thing takes off again. But reason that we had circles at that 60.73, this has been the breakdown level. This was the level that when it broke, we had velocity. And that was in 2021. You look back here in 2017, very similar. We broke down, we back tested that exact level. Boom, it was over. Guys, we are right there. We're right there. You just got to be patient. And I know it's tough and I know people are hurting and I know people are down, but all of the signs are there. We are going to have our alt season. This Bitcoin dominance is going to be breaking down, full stop. That being said, guys, join the Quantum Circle, entries, exit strategy, emotional mental clarity, 2 daily macro videos, a whole lot more. Link to that over in my bio. If not, super appreciative you guys are here. If you could follow, like, repost, I want to get this out to as many people as I can before the train leaves the station. So hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one.